welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Weeknights. Here to start the week. The weeknights. Yeah, no. Anyway, I'm JD, aka He Who Pods. Glasses on today, so also rear view mirror.
Uh-huh. And I am Dash, aka Dashing D, aka the real king of R&B, aka that's all I got today.
All right. I thought he was about to bust out some new shit because he was like, aka
No,
next stuff.
no. Do you remember Pants on the Ground?
Pants on the ground, pants on the ground. Looking like a fool with your
Ooh, with your
pants on the
pants on the
ground.
ground.
Yep.
Just saw a video
That's
of
your
him.
that's your AKA. Pants on the ground.
No, just I was just wondering because I saw a video where this girl was like, "This is for millennials and millennials only," and she proceeds to do the entire song.
Oh wow. Okay.
I was like, first of all, I did not know there was an entire song. Also,
Oh yeah.
yeah, didn't realize that. But yeah, I just thought it was funny because only certain people will understand that. Some people might be a little too new to social media to understand. But yeah.
Gotcha. Well, somebody who's not new,
Uh-huh.
George Clooney, he's got some things to say.
Okay.
George Clooney said on 60 Minutes,
60
look,
minutes.
hey, we old today.
When was the last time you watched 60 Minutes?
I haven't seen a full episode maybe ever in life, like on the TV while it's airing live.
Yeah,
But I
neither
have
did
seen some of their interviews. Even recently, I watched an interview from them maybe a month or two ago.
really.
I like 60-minute interviews.
I
My
haven't
beef
also used to
is
love
on
60
their
Minutes.
YouTube, they don't put a lot of the full episodes up. So
They
it'll
should.
only be like 13 minutes of the interview. And you'd be like, ah.
My guess is the people who are still avidly watching 60 Minutes don't actually want to watch it in that format anyway. So,
Right. Anyway, George Clooney told 60 Minutes, look, I'm 63 years old. I'm not trying to compete with 25-year-old leading men. That's not my job. I'm not doing romantic films anymore.
who was asking George Clooney to do a romantic film? Was
I
somebody
mean,
asking
probably
him
a lot of people. Remember,
if
that
he
was
was
that
in?
was a big genre for him
It
and a
was.
big genre period. Um,
I guess he doesn't want to be
there's
like.
more. I don't know if you want me to read more.
I mean, I get the gist, unless you feel like there's something important.
No, that was it. Oh,
I
he's
mean,
about to be on Broadway
oh, okay.
with
I
the
kind of.
upcoming play adaptation of his 2005 movie Good Night and Good Luck. It
Okay.
opens April 3rd.
Hmm.
There isn't a single actor alive that wouldn't have loved to have, been on Broadway. So that's the fun of it. It's his first time on Broadway.
Well, good for him. I mean, if that was a goal of his, and he's able to realize that goal, then that's amazing. Though, I don't know. I guess George Clooney is not someone that I'm thinking of when I'm thinking of current day romantic comedies anyway.
Hmm.
But what do I know?
Well,
Um,
we've seen comedies where the older person was the main character. Um,
yeah,
so
that's
he
what I
would
was
fit
gonna
one of
say.
those really well. Now,
Right, like
if
It's
it's the
Complicated or The Big Wedding. Those are a couple that were fairly recent with Alec Baldwin. I forget who was in the other one, but yeah.
Yeah, so he could easily play one of those. But also, I think he's a little confused because there's no romantic movies anymore, especially not romantic comedies.
Yeah, you're
Rom-coms
right.
are rom-coms are over.
No, there's like romantic horror now,
Yeah, I don't see George Clooney being in the romantic horror.
which is fine. I don't really want to see George Clooney in that either. I guess I'm just kind of like, well, one, as someone who appreciates a good romantic comedy, don't like. I don't care that George Clooney doesn't want to be in them. Um, he wouldn't be the guy that I would be looking for today. I feel like that ship sailed a long time ago. So asking him to do that today seems a little odd to me. I do agree with you though that I don't think that romantic comedies should discourage older actors because
Right.
we've seen it done. And in fact, I think it's even more interesting when the actors are a little bit older because
Mhm.
there's there's more diversity in the subject lines.
Right.
Um,
It's not just fresh on the brand new job and, you know, I fell in love with my coworker.
yeah, or I bumped into a guy at the grocery store and like we've been together ever since, and then something bad happens and we break up, and then by the end of the film, we're back together.
Right.
It's, you
Yeah, but
know,
this could totally be like one of those older focal point movies. He could totally play a older. He could play a 63-year-old who,
right,
my
right,
daughter been trying to get me on the dating scene and it didn't work. But actually, I
right.
fell in love with her professor.
Or like it's complicated, and maybe this is just like the kid in me that loved it's complicated because it was the divorced parents like fooling around behind everybody's back.
Right.
Um, things like that, or just like, oh, this kind of second act sort of
Yeah.
concept where maybe their original story is one thing, but now they're living a different life, or they've moved to another place, their kids are grown, whatever the case may be. I think
Right.
those stories are sometimes more interesting than the average
Right.
romantic comedy.
Yeah. And
So,
there's also a resurgence right now of,
mhm,
or maybe not even a resurgence is not the right word, but there is light being shown on older dating right now.
yeah.
So it actually would fit perfect. So I don't know why he's mentioning 25-year-old leading men because he could totally do an older movie and he wouldn't be competing with anybody.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. Even there's another movie that keeps coming to mind, Because I Said So, which was largely about one of the sisters in the film, but it's also about very much about their mother, Diane
Mhm.
Keaton's character, and she ends up finding love too. I just feel
There you
like
go.
it's so easy to. I feel like the industry tries to make it seem like being older is not interesting, and that's simply not true.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah.
Now here's what is interesting. Lizzo,
Yes, Lizzo is very interesting. I
according to
realize,
Deadline,
uh,
oh, you first.
I was gonna say, I realized that off pod, I started telling you about Lizzo's little run-in with Young Miami, and I never finished telling you about that.
Oh,
I gotta send you that video. It's fascinating
yes.
because it's strange. Anyway.
Well, I don't know if this is strange, but it is
Mhm.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Deadline says exclusive.
Hmm.
Four-time Grammy Award winner Lizzo will be taking up the guitar to play
Hmm.
Sister Rosetta Tharpe, the gospel singer who was one of the first to appeal to rock and roll and R&B audiences in Amazon MGM Studios' Rosetta. Without
Hmm.
Tharpe, there will be no rock and roll. Her influence on popular music spans decades and includes Elvis, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, Johnny Cash, and countless others.
Hmm.
So Lizzo's gonna I guess be learning some guitar and playing Sister Rosetta Tharpe. I think
I
that's really
think
interesting.
I think it is really interesting. I don't know a lot about Rosetta Tharpe, so
I don't know anything about Rosetta Tharpe, I'll be honest.
yeah. I mean, I did look up the backstory.
Hmm.
Um, so she has an interesting story, but I don't, beyond that I don't know anything. So this I think would be cool. I also kind of want to see Lizzo like this.
Yeah, I'm curious to see
Um,
what could happen here. And I got to be
yeah.
honest. Uh, I said a while ago that Lizzo has a contract with Amazon, and people got at me, and she continues to do business with Amazon. And so I think that's interesting that Amazon has such a vested interest in Lizzo, and despite her major weight loss, she is still being given looks by Amazon. I'm happy to see that
Yeah.
so far I'm wrong, and Amazon is still rocking with her.
Yeah. Well, because I think it went a little, not necessarily Amazon specifically, but I think when we spoke about this before, I was even saying that she spent some time building her brand. I don't want to say outside of the identity she had before the weight loss, but I feel like she was working towards kind of, setting things up in different areas. So it wasn't just the music, right? She had her clothing line, she had her swimsuit line. She was kind of setting up these building blocks. She did the show, which was not necessarily about her, it was more about featuring other people on her show. So I could see her like branching off into different things. I think this is a great way to do it. I mean, if you already have a relation, whether this was a long term contract or not, if you already have a relationship with Amazon, why not continue to? And it's a good relationship. Why not continue to capitalize on that and makes money for both parties?
Right.
So, I think it's great. I'm excited to see it. Again, I'm excited to see Lizzo in this way. I'm not a huge Lizzo fan. I don't think I've ever listened to a Lizzo album. I've heard nothing but good things. I just wasn't really into it myself. But I'm really excited to see her like this. I think she's super talented, super charismatic. So I would love to see her in a role like this, especially because, I mean, let's be honest, when you have people who are music artists do these sort of films, it usually works. Um, Not always. But usually it works. Um, and again, she's so talented that I can't imagine that, it won't be good. So I'm excited to see it and see what that looks like for Lizzo.
Yeah, and I agree that it helps that she's a musician. Yeah, she may not play the guitar at the moment. She's probably going to have to learn some, or maybe already started learning some. But yeah, she's a musician still in more than one way, and
Yeah.
so I think that's gonna be helpful to the components of this film.
Yeah. And she to your point, she plays instruments. So maybe this will become very naturally to her. I don't know, but yeah, I think this will be cool to watch for sure.
Last thought: I wonder, because Sister Rosetta Tharpe was gospel, will that be problematic for gospel people?
That Lizzo is
Lizzo,
playing her.
but that the same woman who was showing literally her ass at a Lakers game is going to be playing this gospel artist.
Shouldn't matter to them. She's acting. So who
I
she is
guess.
as a person is has
Yeah,
nothing to do with
I'm
her
not saying they
acting.
should hate on it. I'm just saying I'm
I
curious if
know.
they will.
I know. I'm just responding to those people, not really responding to you because I agree with you. I think that is probably something that will come up,
Right.
but that's not. Also, the amount of music she influenced that wasn't gospel, I
Right.
don't think I don't see how you. I mean, sure, I do see because it happens all the time, but it
That's why I
doesn't.
said I'm curious. Yeah.
It just wouldn't make sense in this instance, even if that does happen. So they'll just have to get over it.
Right. All right. Tell us about our last topic.
All right. So there's a film coming out. We've seen the trailer. Um, the Luckiest Man in the World. Okay. Now this is about a guy going on the game show Press Your Luck,
Hmm. And it's based on a true story.
based on a true story. I have not looked up the details of the true story against
Yeah.
my normal judgment. Normally, I would have already
Right.
known every factoid about this before we came here. I don't know anything but what I've seen in the trailer.
Right.
So the guy gets on the game show and he starts winning. And that's fine because, people sometimes win.
Oh,
But
the
then
luckiest man in America,
the
not the
luckiest
world.
man in America. But then he continues to win. Like, more than they have accounted for because they are only used to people winning to a certain point. It's kind of like when you go to the casino and you keep winning,
Right.
and now they're like, or you play blackjack or something, and you're beating the house, and now the
Yeah.
tab has run up, and they're like, wait, we didn't bargain, we didn't account for that because no one ever achieves that. It's kind of like
Right.
that.
No, exactly.
So they're in the back of the house because this is a televised show. They're in the back of the house going, wait, what's going on? What's happening?
Right.
Why is this happening? What is happening? And then they start to think, no, this guy got to be cheating or something, but they can't figure it out. They also, it appears that maybe he has previously done criminal activity. So now they're really looking into him. Now they're really trying to
Right.
investigate him and figure out what's going on and how he's doing
Right.
it. And there's like a whole confrontation that's going to happen. And it's like twists and turns and your head is spinning, but it's about a game show,
Right.
which makes it super interesting for me. I was like, oh my gosh, adrenaline rush, and I'm not really sure why a game show is doing this, but it is,
Right.
and I don't know. I'm excited about it. I think it's gonna be good.
I think
Um,
so too. I'm
let me look at
looking
the
him
cast.
up. I'm looking up the main actor, or I thought this was the main actor. Is it
And
not?
then there's one guy who is like in
What's that?
everything, and I always forget his name. Um,
I was trying to find the main actor. It's not clear his name here.
hold on, I have it here.
The main
Paul
actor?
Walter Hauser is
Oh,
his
okay,
name.
that's him.
Yes, and the person I'm thinking of is Walton Goggins.
Okay,
He's like in everything.
yeah.
Uh,
What's really
so yeah.
interesting is the first thing I thought about when I saw the trailer was that's my guy from Cobra Kai. Paul
Mm,
Walter Hauser
okay.
is from Cobra Kai. He plays Stingray. Is
Okay.
his it's like it's a really funny story. He's like a security guard. He's a loser. He wants to be in Cobra Kai, even though Cobra Kai is like for teenagers. He's this grown man who's like, I don't know, 38 or 40 or something. He's older. And he's
Hmm.
like enamored by Cobra Kai. He's like, I got to be involved. And so it's got
Okay.
this really interesting plot. And so,
Hmm.
yeah, he plays Stingray in Cobra Kai. And I was like, oh, look at Stingray getting a movie role here.
He's
So I
yeah.
think this is really interesting. It appears to be an independent film. We usually see him in supporting roles, like even his IMDb. It says he played supporting roles in Cruella, I,
Oh,
Tonya. Oh, I think it's I, Tanya.
that's Tanya. Yeah, that was about Tanya
Yeah,
Harding.
yeah, I, Tanya. Yep. Late Night, Black Klansman, and The Five Bloods.
He
Excuse
was
me.
in Black Klansman.
That's what it says. I don't remember him in Black Klansman. It's been a while
I
since I
didn't
saw the
either.
movie. But
Yeah,
anywho,
same.
yeah, he's doing his thing, and I'm happy to see him getting the chance at a lead role. I
Hmm.
think that's cool, and I'm excited for him. I'm excited for this movie. It looks like it's an independent film, and I'm always interested when it says based on a true story. Like I'm gonna be honest, I'm a sucker for those. Anytime I see that, my antennas go up. I'm like, oh, all right, based on a true story. Now I'm excited because you didn't just make some shit up. This crazy shit
This really
actually
happened.
happened, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for him getting a lead role. I'm excited to see how this turns out. And I'm excited that an independent film is hitting the big screen. And it's also a timepiece because it happened in like 1984 or 88 or
84.
something like that.
It was
84, yeah,
84.
yeah.
Hmm.
So this is like throwback stuff. So it's really interesting to me. I mean, I wasn't even born when this happened, so I'm interested to see how this goes.
Right.
Um, and whether they're able to scare him or not. Is he able to win or not? Does he live or not? Like, I'm really curious about all of that.
Right. Because it appears he did, based on the plot that I see over here, it appears that he is the one who orchestrated whatever happened, but we don't know how and like what he did or whatever. So I think that's going to be really interesting. Just, it's like the most random thing as far
It's
as
so
I'm
random.
concerned, but so
So
interesting.
random.
Like,
Like, I thought it was going to be Wheel of Fortune when we were watching the trailer. I was like, oh, is this like Wheel of
mm.
Fortune or something? Like, or Price is Right. Price is Right. Sorry. I thought it was
Oh
Price is Right.
yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought also, and then I realized it was Press Your Luck. But yeah,
I was like, what? Press Your Luck? I didn't even know Press Your Luck.
because you were not even a baby.
I wasn't even born. Have you seen Press Your Luck before?
No, I don't
Yeah.
think so.
I
But
got to ask
you,
my
like,
dad, was that like a big show?
neither of us was a dream or a prayer yet. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's
Because we're not that young. Or rather, we're not that old, I should
We're
say.
not that old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. So can't wait to see that.
Yeah, and it comes out soon. When did it come out? Oh, shit.
April 4th. Soon.
Look
Yeah.
at that. Got it.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that's our pod today, folks. Short and sweet. Wow, this might be our shortest episode ever, but I'm okay with it.
This is fine. We give
Right.
hour-long
Our
episodes
pod
to
tomorrow will
our...
be like 55 minutes, probably.
Right, exactly.
Yep. Ebbs and
Very
flows,
well.
baby.
All right.
So that's
Well,
it. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, all right, see y'all tomorrow.
Oh, well, yeah. This has been Weeknights. Thank you for being here. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.